What's good, YouTube? Welcome. It's your boy Markel here with another YouTube video. Let's get it. Let's talk about myself again. I'm a 26-year-old truck driver. I'm a new truck driver. I've been driving for I was with my trainer since around June, July-ish, and I've been by myself since August. So I'm about 2 months in. It's been going pretty well right now. I'm currently at Planet Fitness right now. I just finished my day off. I had about 488 miles today, so it wasn't too bad. Got here at Planet Fitness. I'm about less than 10 miles from my shipper. I'm gonna drop this off in the morning. I wanted to make this YouTube video, tap back in, get this consistency going. I have a few bullet points. My topic today is, what am I currently doing as a 26-year-old truck driver to be successful? And this is within the job area of all this, okay? I have a few bullet points, First of all, very important is planning. You want to plan out your day. You want to know where you're going, know what routes that you're going to be taking, what highways that you're going to be taking. You want to look at, especially some shippers have a kind of a weird area, or they might be kind of deeper into a city. So you want to look at where you're going, what route, what does the area around the shipper looks like, what's going to be the parking like, remember what turns that you're going to make once you get into that city, and then back on the highway, knowing which highways that you're going down through. Like I started my day off back in Ohio. I had to get onto the highway. I was on 70. Yeah, I was on 70. I went from 70 to 75 down to Dayton, 75 onto US 35, US 35 all the way down to 64. 64 connects with 77, 77 south down into 74 south, 74 south down into US 52, which US 52 connects to US 421, US 421 down into onto 40, and then I just took 40 down until where I'm at now. I'm in North Carolina. You want to make sure that you know these routes, that you know the highways. I'll give y'all some past things that I've already done. I actually had my van. I was the owner operator in my van, so I'm kind of already used to moving across the country, going to different highways. So I kind of remember a lot of the highways around already. But as you just keep doing this over and over, you're gonna remember what highways that you have to take. Once you do certain routes, you already remember the highways. You remember where certain things are. Where you can park. How far you need to go how far you want to go before you want to park. It's all about just planning the days out, so that you're driving the amount of miles that you need to drive before you have to stop, or before your hours of service, for your 30-minute break, before your 10-hour break. So you can know where parking is. And Planet Fitness is always good to park, because not a lot of truckers fucking exercise. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. I don't want to cuss too much. I want to be decently professional, but not a lot of truck drivers work out, so you can always find parking. You want to call the place before you park there. Please call the place before you park there, so if you can park there, and if you can spend your 10-hour break here. Some places might say that you can't park your truck there, but then you call the place and they'll say, yeah, you can park your truck here. You can spend your 10-hour break here. So as long as you got the confirmation with the people that actually are on the lot and will be there overnight, then they'll know what's going on. What's going on, so you won't be out and not have enough information. You always want to be ahead of the game. You always want to have the information, because then you look kind of stupid when you don't have the information. So yeah, just planning out your trips, knowing where you're about to go, knowing what you have to do for the day. Connecting with the planning part You know, a big thing that you have to do, I feel like, especially with OTR, is that you got to run the miles. You have to run the miles. You have to get, you know, at least minimum. You got to get, like, if you want to make some money, especially in OTR, especially as a newer driver, and your rate is not going to be that big, you want to get at least 500 miles a day, because in a week, you know, at least in the 5 days, not just the 7 days, but in 5 days, you know, you're getting 2,500 miles a week, you know, and that's where you want to make your money at. You want to get that 500 mile a day so you can get to that point. You know, now all the time will you be at a shipper or receiver, so, and you know that you they won't get the load into your truck or out of your truck and within that 2 hours, so you might have to wait longer than that. You know, with this load I just had now, I had to wait. I got there at like 9 a.m., you know, an hour before to pick up, and I didn't leave until the next day at 6 a.m. You know, and that was a drop and hook. It wasn't even like I was even backed into a door. I just dropped my trailer off and just waited bobtail in their parking lot for almost 24 hours. So, you know, you're not always going to have that quick. Some places I got unloaded in 15 minutes. Like, they were just like, and it was like a 70,000 pound trailer. Like, the whole thing was filled, and they got everything out of there in like 15-20 minutes. They were not playing. And it really just determines how big the place is, what their logistics like. You know, can they get the paperwork out there, whatever, all the different things that has to go on their side. You know, the workers, you know, how efficient are the workers, you know, all these different things like that. Do they already properly packaged the material? You know, sometimes it probably takes longer for that, you know, but yeah, that was the thing. I kind of got lost there, but first it was planning, and then it was just running the miles that you need to, you know, run in a 7 day. If you get a cross country trip in 7 days, you know, you get, that's 3,500 miles. That's way over more than the mileage, I think, from one edge of the country to the other. Well, I think the most, yeah, I think it's like 35. I think it's like what, Washington to like Maine. That's like 3,300 or something like that. I don't remember. But you know, if you can get at least a load from 2,500 and then connecting to that, to doing the miles, if you're with a big company, you know, with the company that I'm with, they can repower you. They can get you off of that trailer, so you can run, at least, you know, run that mileage, call in with the company and see if and then they can see if they have another person that is kind of running behind, so you can pick up their load and then keep on running miles. So you can run like 2,300 of those miles of that 2,500 mile trip, and then get a load that where they're kind of late. You only have 200 miles left on that trip. Well, you picked up another trailer that has, like, let's say another 1,000 miles left on their trip, you know, so now you're getting 3,300. If you can get that in that time frame, you now got 3,300, or just more miles than what you would have had if you would have just delivered that load. So now, because you're early, you're not only making the money that from that load, you can make money off of the other person's load on the miles that they need left. So now you're making even more money, and you're just running those miles, you know. And I know a lot of people are probably not into running miles like that. You know, I hear people be doing like 300 miles a day, you know. That's, you know, how they want to run, you know. But I've seen so far the best way to make money is to run miles, you know, and running healthily, you know. For instance, I've been able to run the miles I've been able to run while also being able to go to the gym and work out. You know, it's all about planning the trips out and knowing how, knowing where you need to be at, knowing how many miles that you need to run. So I'm yapping. I'm 9 minutes into this video. It's gonna be a long video. I'm gonna have to kind of wrap that up for a little bit. But none of the things that you have to do, I feel like, that you have to be successful with, is that as you're running miles, you're sitting down in this position for 8 to 10 to 11 hours a day. That is not healthy at all. If that's all that you're doing all day, because then you're gonna go into the back and go to sleep. for another 6 to 10 hours, and now you're sedentary for almost 20 hours a day. That's not good, you know. And even more than that, because you're probably waiting to get loaded, so you're just sitting sedentary for a very long period. And you know what I do is, again, I go and exercise. I go to the gym. I get the blood flowing. I get the muscles working, you know. I'm trying to build weight, but I'm not trying to build so much fat. I'm trying to build muscle and fat, because you need fat, but I'm trying to build muscle and fat. More muscle than fat, but I'm trying to build both up and keep the fat at a healthy range. You feel me? I'm not a person that really wants to be lean. I've always been skinny, so I'm not a person that wants to be lean, like super lean. Like I'm lean. I just stay lean just because high metabolism. You feel me? But I don't want to be lean. I want to have weight on me. You feel me? So that's just what my way of how I want to be. You feel me? Different people can have their ways, and people have their ways of how they want to be and how they want to live. You feel me? But with the working out, and being sedentary. If you're being sedentary, you're probably not eating right also. A lot of these truck stops, they have all fast food, all processed food, which eating at such high quantities is going to be unhealthy. I know 2 people who just went to the hospital, you feel me, like as truckers. They was in grad class with me. Like they started, stop feeling things on their right side of the arm. Their body started being numb. They had to call into the ambulance to get taken to the hospital. You feel me? I feel like, in my opinion, it's probably because their bodies are not used to being that inactive. You feel me? And most people live already an inactive life already. A lot of people don't exercise already, but then on top of this job being super inactive, because there's a lot of white collar jobs, where I hear the ambulance, that's the ambulance or a firefighter truck. He's actually passing right here. It's an ambulance. But a lot of people in white collar jobs are already inactive, but you can actually just get up whenever you want and just walk around. In trucking, you're driving multiple hours at a time and sitting for multiple hours at a time. Like, you're like a gamer pretty much, but a gamer can still get up whenever they want. A trucker knows I have to pull over to the side of the road, or pull over to a safe area, and then get out, and then do some stretching. Stretching can be enough if you actually do it for a long amount of time. You can't just stretch for like a minute and be like, that's my exercise for today. No, you gotta probably be stretching for a good bit. You feel me? Actually 15, 20, 30 minutes. You feel me? So yeah, just not living, because that really, like, your health is everything. If you don't have good health, then you can't run miles. And if you don't have good health, you're probably not going to have a good life circumstances, because you can't really move up from where you're at. Because that's my whole deal. I want to move up from just being a company driver. As an owner operator, I had complete control. I was making pretty good money, and I wanted to move up to being a CDL. I wanted to get my CDL. So now I got my CDL, company driver. I want to move up again to be an owner operator for my own truck. I can't do that if I don't have good health. So that's another big thing right there. A lot of these things I might go into, and again, make another video, and just yap some more about it. But yeah, big thing is sleep. You gotta have good sleep. You gotta get good sleep. You feel me? That probably, a lot of truckers talk about that it takes them like an hour, 2 hours just to get to sleep. Probably because you're not active. If you drive all day, park up, go to the gym, get a good exercise in, get a good sweat, good pump, whatever, you do cardio, it doesn't matter what you do as long as you get active. You can be on a treadmill, get on a bike, you can weight lift, you feel me? You can get on the barbell, you can get with the dumbbells, you can get with the machines. As long as you're getting some type of movement in, that's all you need. You feel me? Body weight exercises, calisthenics, like that's all you need. You just need to be active for at least maybe 30 minutes. 30 minutes out of your day, just be active, constant training. So you can't go into the gym and then talk or just be on your phone for 20 minutes of those 30 minutes and then only have 10 minutes of training. No, you have to be 30 minutes. Me, I kind of sometimes, especially because I took time off because I was with a trainer, so I didn't want to force him to do things that he wasn't usually doing in his truck. So I wasn't really going to the gym and working out. I can only do body weight exercises, but when I before that, I would get lost in the gym. I would just be like, at a certain point, I'd be like, okay, I'm like 10 exercises in. It's been 2 hours. You feel me? I do about 3 to 5 sets of each exercise. I'm supersetting exercises. I'm like 2 hours in. I gotta go. Because there's a certain point where it's too much work. Now that's a whole nother thing. You feel me? Especially when you're taking everything to failure, you know. But now I'm back into it. My last exercise was leg day. I didn't have enough time to keep going with my leg day because they were about to close, but I had a really good leg day exercises. I did squats, leg extensions, calf raises. That's really all I did. But everything was taken to failure. Everything was taken to the limit. But before that, I had a shoulder day, and I didn't have that time frame, so I did like so much. I did shoulders, traps, you know, upper back, you know, that whole region right there, and forearms too. So yeah, I did a lot of exercises. Everything took into failure, a lot of work, and you know. But let me just not ramble so much. But yeah, man, that's pretty much like some of the things that I do as a 26-year-old truck driver, you know, to be successful, to be on time for things. You know, there's just so much more I can say, but I'm at 17 minutes and yeah, it's too long. So, but yeah, just to be successful, to just keep going, to keep moving, to be not just motivated every day, but to be able to have that and I won't even say discipline. It's really just to know what my goal is, and just to get up every day and know that I can just go and achieve my goal and achieve what I want to do, you know. So that's pretty much my video, guys. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any video suggestions, questions, comments, just put it in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Have a blessed day.